What advice would you say to someone that feels stuck in a rut, where they wake up and there is just this lack of happiness and they need to say, I want to get myself into a healthy place, I want my family to be healthy, I want to be living the way you're all talking about, I want to smile and laugh with my friends, but right now I just feel sad, I feel unhealthy, I feel tired, I feel exhausted. How can we speak life now into somebody who might be feeling like that?
Well, I think, you know, parenting is the most stressful job ever. Yes, it's wonderful. Yes, it's exciting and joyful, and we can have moments of where it feels like a real privilege. But the reality is, it is really hard and it's really stressful. And then you add into that your jobs and all the pressures that we've been talking about that us as mums particularly are under. And, you know, I like to talk about a stress bucket. You know, you layer that in, you pour in a bit more. Eventually, that stress bucket is full and it's going to overflow. And then you're in real trouble. So let's, you know, really take a look and be aware of how full your stress bucket is right now, and think, what are the things that I can do to try and start to take steps? And it isn't about putting more pressure, because you're just adding to your stress bucket. It's actually taking time out, and, you know, quite often it's about really surrounding yourself with support as well. So, you know, we've talked a lot about kind of meeting the emotional needs of our children, helping them regulate their emotions, but we need support to do that for ourselves. So surround yourselves with people and friendships that are going to give you that space, give you that kind of sense of feeling encouraged and uplifted, and have fun. You know, we need to have fun as parents. We need adult company. You know, our children are wonderful and we love to spend time with them. We talk so much about that on the Mum Show, but we need some kind of camaraderie, don't we? We need some adult time. So, you know, make sure you surround yourself, get some good friends, and spend time soothing your soul. And there's loads of other practical things that we can kind of think about, but I'll save them for my top tips.
I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because as women, you look right back to the beginning, and we often do this, don't we, on the Mum Show? We often go right back to the beginning and say, how does this story in the Bible unfold? And Eve was the one that was tempted, and she was the one who had the assault on her identity. She was the one that was caused to question who she was and could she become more like God. We've said that before, you know, if you eat this fruit, you'll become more like God, as though she wasn't quite enough, as though God didn't create her to the full capacity that he could have done. And I think as women, we've just had this assault continue. You know, whether throughout the years, it isn't just social media. We can just have so much coming at us from the way we perceive ourselves, that we need to look beautiful, that we need to, you know, have all the information, that we have to create things and cook things. Even something as beautiful as that proverb that you mentioned, it's Proverb 31.
Yeah, Proverbs 31.
Even in that amazing, beautiful scripture that is supposed to be an adoration of womanhood, can be twisted and turned around to say, you're not that. You should be that. And it feels to me as though often as women we are under this massive assault of saying, do you know what, you've not made the grade, you're not making the standard, you're not good enough. And I think as mums of faith, it's our job to say, that ends now. That ends in my generation. I'm not letting that go any further. I need to stop now and say, I'm going to know who I am in God, and I'm going to make my body, make my mind, make my soul, do everything I can to worship him, to honour him, and to rejoice in all that God has made me. And actually, finding friendships is a part of that. Finding space and finding time is a part of that. I love that, you know, Sabbath was made for man, not man made for Sabbath. God sets us an example. You know, God never intended us for us to just stampede through life, attaching as many medals and certificates as possible. He just loves us the way we are.
That's true.
And it's almost, I feel as though we need to kind of get to that stage where we're okay with loving ourselves and trying to pass that on down into our family as well.